What if getting your number one wish granted ruins your life and kills everyone? This is Kirby Air Riders, directed by Masahiro Sakurai. The story follows Zora, a machine stranded on Popstar that spends ages wishing for freedom. Eventually, Galactic Nova grants that wish, but instead of giving Zora a normal life, Nova transforms him into a giant weapon of mass destruction known as Gigantes, a machine capable of destroying the planet. A fragment of Zora's will survives as Noir Day, who now has to stop the destruction caused by his own wish. This raises an important question. Why did Nova grant Zora's wish in such a destructive way? My claim is that Nova develops the theme of false freedom because Zora gets what he wants on the surface but becomes trapped in a new responsibility. One way Sakurai develops the theme of false freedom is through literary devices. First, he uses hyperbole. The narrator says Zora was trapped for what felt like an eternity. This exaggeration shows how badly Zora wanted freedom. Second, Sakurai uses juxtaposition. Zora wants freedom while Gigantes represents control and destruction. By placing these two forms side by side, Sakurai shows that apparent freedom can become another form of oppression. The pacing also supports this idea because the moment Noir Dead is created, he immediately begins racing around Popstar, preventing Gigantes from being activated. Instead of enjoying freedom, he spends all of his time dealing with its consequences. While this reinforces the theme of false freedom, while Nova sits in space just floating around like the giant satellite, the Nova granted Zora's wish to help Popstar and free its inhabitants. However, evidence from other Kirby games suggests otherwise. In Kirby Superstar Ultra, Nova must be stopped before reaching Popstar. This shows that Nova has a history of bringing destruction rather than helping people. In Kirby Planet Roboboss, Star Dream, another clockwork star, causes Susie's disappearance and eventually erases Haltman's memories. These machines repeatedly harm the life they interact with. Because Nova behaves similarly to these other machines, it is more reasonable to view it as a giant, destructive weapon than a benevolent wish granter. This weakens the counterclaim and supports my original argument. Throughout Kirby Air Riders, Sakurai develops the theme of false freedom. Scenes and dialogue from Kirby's Return to Dreamland and Kirby Star Allies suggest that Nova is one of many clockwork stars created by the ancients. These machines are repeatedly connected to destruction and galactic conflict. This context helps explain why Zora's wish is granted in such a harmful way. In the end, Zora receives exactly what he asks for. He gains the ability to move freely. However, he never gets the peaceful life he wanted because he must spend his time preventing Gigantes from being activated. Zora becomes free to move, but not free to live. That is why Nova's actions support the theme of false freedom. This thing always causes too much ruckus. Good riddance.